welcome to the European premiere of Trowbridge. Okay, thank you very much. What we're going to do is we're going to screen the film, and then we're going to do something then straight after we'll be presenting an award, the John Hagan Lifetime Achievement Award. That'll take about 20 minutes, and then straight after that we'll have the Q&A with Daniel, Don and Chris as well, and Rachel will be overseeing that. So here's Rachel with a very important announcement.
Hello everyone. Hello. I'm going to ask, are you all sitting comfortably? Are you all? Good.
I need a cushion.
I wish I could provide. When you watch the film, I know you're all going to want to hoop, holler and scream your adoration at the end of the film, but please wait until the very end of the credits, because the story doesn't finish with the end of the visuals. It continues all the way through the credits, and we want you to hear the song that Martin Pearson, who is an amazing guy, wrote for the end credits. So listen, and once it's all finished, you could all go absolutely bonkers. Okay? Can you prove to me that you can go bonkers? I have one last task to do, and that is, we couldn't be here if it wasn't for Terry Pratchett. He's got to watch it too. So, if we were right-thinking people, we would all be sat indoors, which apparently we all are. And we'd all be sat around telling stories like Trowbridge.
Okay, so I'd like to introduce now to the stage Daniel, Don and Christian and Rachel and Anna. And Rachel from Discworld Monthly. So sit back, relax and enjoy this part, and take part as well.
So much love for that man's work there. And what can we say? What can we say, isn't it? So my job is to ask questions, and I expect you lot to do the same. Okay, so when I ask you, have you got any questions? Stick your hand up and shout, and we'll go that route. But yes, so I'm going to ask the most basic question of all. Daniel, darling. Daniel. How many years did Trowbridge take?
On the publicity material, we'll say 15 years, but Colin Smythe, Terry's agent, pulled me up on that at the last Discord convention and said I can't say 15 years anymore. Because it's been 17 years since I originally emailed him to ask for permission to do that. So it's actually 17 years from, I guess, the first step to today.
Microphone's good. Microphone's available. Then again, what you've been starting 17 years ago, and we both kind of made a little film. But anything we've done in the first 5 years, none of the shows up on screen anymore. So we ended up reshooting the whole thing because if you think about it, 17 years ago, television wasn't even HD yet. So this would be thumbnail sized, and it was a lot smaller film, and it just turned into a bigger one, and we realized what type of project we tackled. Like the scope of the project was just revealing itself to us once we started.
Christian, a visual effects supervisor, he was one of the very, very, very earliest people to come on board, and we hadn't met at all before. Prior to the project, he made another short Discord fan film as well.
Well, I've been a Discord fan my whole life, and so getting into 3D, first thing obviously was the luggage. And then a dragon, and then the wind sprinter. bad, for instance, 20 years ago. And then I get emailed from Daniel, hey, I'm doing a real film, and I'm actually having Terry involved, and I'm like, oh. So I'm like, yeah, I'm totally in. And then we actually built a mica and tried to do the first test, and that's when it just kind of revealed itself, like, oh, wait, if I would go at the same pace that I'm doing it right now, it would be 17 years, and I thought, that's not a fucking way.
You say we lost the first 5 years of footage. I'm going to say this, if you haven't backed the film, you can back the film at trollbridge.film and get yourself an actual physical copy, which will be coming out towards the end of the year. Are we going to see any of that footage on the DVD?
Yeah, well, I mean, the beautiful thing is because we were meticulously keeping behind the scenes of the entire process, and Andrew and I, over there, it was our camera assist on the studio shoot, and he's catching behind the scenes today. So we've been capturing everything all the way through, and our behind the scenes are going to put Peter Jackson to shame. So yeah, the original version of the film, the 16-minute version of the film, there's so many different versions of the film now, they'll all be on the DVD.
Including one with the trolls in just the green suits, but we actually see Troy and...
Yeah. So every major iteration of the film, and my favourite thing about the behind the scenes is being able to see the progress that's made, and because we've been able to cover that, and there's such a wide variation in the various iterations of the film, I think it's interesting.
Oh,
but,
absolutely. I mean, you're going to see, there's entire scenes that have been left on the cutting floor already.
Oh, yeah.
Like, originally it was a 45-minute film.
Yeah.
Was that on the DVD?
Yeah, it's all on the DVD. All of it's on the DVD.
Good. I have a question for Don. You were sat in the makeup chair for quite some time to become Colin, because, I look at you and you haven't got the beard and the shape head.
Yeah, well, I've been put to shame by Kev today. I had 3 hours a day to get the makeup on and about an hour to get it off at the end of each day. And the beard was very heavy. We were using a ball cap, and the makeup artist, Natalie, figured out that the glue or the spirit gum they were using just wouldn't hold the beard up. So she devised a series of wires that went across my head under the ball cap to hold the beard up. So it was a really intricate process each day. We didn't do it a lot of time. I think we had 6 days shooting and 1 day of makeup tests filming.
Yeah, something like that,
Yeah. So it was only about 7 times I had to get into it. So
Did you freeze to death in the snow?
it was a little bit chilly. I may have got slightly terse with Daniel a couple of times. We were filming in New Zealand in August, which is the Southern Hemisphere coldest month. And we were on top of mountains being thrown out of helicopters. And I had a coat which Daniel came up with. Did you come up with it?
No, that was Bronwyn's.
That's right.
She was looking after you.
Yeah, so she had this big dressing gown which had hand warmers sewn inside it. And when I was walking across the mountain, I had hand warmers down my boots, down my jock strap, everywhere that couldn't be seen. And I was back into it into the coat as often as possible. I think we were trying to do everything. 3 minutes was about what we had between the time I took the coat off, the time I had to put it back on before dying.
Did it feel weird leading a no horse along that ridge?
No, I got very used to it. He was there the whole time. I felt the presence of Mickey, who was the New Zealand horse. It's a beautiful horse.
Yeah, just to explain, in all those big wine shops, where you might think it was drone shots, but they were not. They were actually helicopter shots because drones were not invented when it was filmed. And it's incredibly difficult here to get a horse on a helicopter. So they just didn't. And the horse you saw was actually a CG horse. And all the...
Have you got any questions? Anybody? Ponder.
Yeah, on the screen we see a noble creature, well known of a sort that, for its intractability, stubbornness and occasional unpredictability. But what was it like to work with a horse?
What was it like to work with the horse?
We had two different horses. Mickey in New Zealand was quite a young horse and a bit feisty, but I grew up around horses. My father was a jockey, my grandfather was a trainer, so I realised that if I kept talking to Mickey, he was fine. As soon as I stopped talking, he'd get a bit feisty, but yeah, he was great. He was cold, but he was good. And in the studio, we had a beautiful horse, Lindy, who was 27 years old, 28 years old, very old horse. But she'd done more films than me and most of the actors I know together. And she knew the rhythm of filmmaking and was very, very comfortable with it. And there were moments when she would start to nod off and fall asleep afternoon nap. So she began into this position, the head down. I'm sitting on board waiting. And the first assistant director, every time he called turn over, which is to tell the camera to turn on, she would go, oh. And by the time they went through the routine before they called action, she was in the process of waking up. As soon as they called action, bang, she was off. Hit her mark every time. She was just fabulous. And she figured out pretty early on that when I was talking to her, the actor was off to the side doing her voice. And I would talk to her, and he would talk, and after a couple of takes, she started going every time he spoke. And bugger me, a couple of times she actually went.
Anyone else? You right at the back, I can see that. Yes.
Daniel, congratulations. Brilliant film, and well done on finding Dom. I think he's definitely my poet. How long did it take you to audition and find him?
Yeah, so how long did it take to audition and find Conan?
We originally had a different actor playing Conan in the original iteration of the film. But when we knew that we were going to reboot, I wanted someone that was more closer to the physicality of what Cohen is in my mind.
Skinny old bastard.
And really, there was only one actor in Melbourne that I was aware of, and Don is very well known in Melbourne in the independent film circuit. And I knew for a number of years that I wanted Don before I bumped into him at one of the film festivals, approached him and said, hello, I've got a script for you. and that was it. I'm very happy that he said yes. For me, he's Cohen as well. I was rereading Light Fantastic recently, and it's Don's voice that I'm hearing.
Thank you.
Which leads me to ask, had you read it, Ratchet, before taking the part?
You know the answer to that, Rachel. The answer was no. And I was actually, I was unaware of Terry, much to my shame. But I was touring around Australia with a play, and I mentioned it to one of the other actors, and he went, oh my God! And in the next town, he raced out and bought me a couple of Pratchett books. So I read them, in between towns and just fell in love with the writings. So it's really wonderful stuff. So yeah.
I'm going to ask both of you, because you guys are visual effects specialists, I suppose, on the team. How much, I know you were
Yes, I got introduced to the Terry Pratchett books here in England for the first time. And then I read them all and I was just, wow, they're amazing. And that's how I actually came on the project, because I was sitting on Facebook, we looked for character animators about Terry Pratchett movie, and I was just, wow, I have to do it. Yeah.
I know for you, it's the first time you've watched that all the way through.
Yes.
Are you as wild as the rest of us? Even though you worked on it, you still as wild.
Yes, definitely. It's amazing seeing it completely done. I mean, I've seen mainly all the scenes where the trolls are in, but not much of before it. And I didn't see the end because I thought, I want to see it completely in one go and not now everything. So it's a big surprise and I really love it.
One of the interesting things about this project is that people were all over the world working on it pretty much at the same time. And I actually met these two on the train yesterday for the first time. I was walking through the train and I hear this voice say, "Are you called Bruce?" Yes, and it was Blocky, who had been watching my face on the screen.
Yeah, for years on end. Every single hair on his face.
Every wrinkle.
So I'm going to ask you then, how many people in total worked on the film worldwide, you know?
I think it's just 300. No, there's just 300 in post.
About 300 in post, yeah.
Yeah, we had about 100, maybe somewhere between 50 and 80 reenactors, but we had a lot of crew on that day as well, so then there's an extra 100. So yeah, probably around 400 people, I would say, all up in total, which is not a small film.
Well, I think you're not really used to see that long of a credit or in a short film festival. This is typically just what you see in like regular blockbuster movies. So, and our thing was that we had like a revolving door policy. Everything was done by volunteers. And it would only really work with a Discworld project because it just happens so that Terry Pratchett has friends all over the world, and his writing is so visual that a lot of visual artists are fans. You find a lot of fans and even a lot of specialists. Like we need a hairstylist for digital hair for the. This is like a real special thing.
Very specific.
And we were lucky to find somebody who was a Pratchett fan in that category. Even
hair animation is not something you think is important, but it really is important.
There's not that many people do it.
Was that for the horse?
Yeah, for the digital face of the horse. Not your hair. Your hair. Even in corporations, like we found friends in unexpected places. The Foundry is one of the makers of the software that we needed to use, and the president of the Foundry was like, "Oh, you're doing that? Oh my God, I'm going to help you with licenses and everything," and they set us up. So that's why we had corporate sponsors that would make it possible. So big shout out to the Foundry, good people.
Render Farm was another one that came through for us because the owner was a massive Discworld fan.
Yeah,
sort of
even the rental farm, the garage farm. GarageFarm.net, if you ever need to render something, don't render at home, render online.
Yeah, that was a great experience actually with rendering, yeah.
I'm going to ask you, are you ever going to do another one?
Another film. I'd love to do another Discworld film, but I guess we'll have to wait and see.
But would you do it the way you've done Trollbridge?
No. God, I'm 40. I'm 40 now. I'd be bloody. No, I'd like to do something bigger and better. I want to move to feature-length territory, and for that kind of thing, you need major investment for that. Like, millions and millions and millions of dollars. Crowdfunding wouldn't be able to achieve much.
Would you not watch it if he makes it? What?
He's mentioning not being able to crowdfund it. Has he seen what Critical Role has just got?
No, I don't. What did they get?
They got up to about $11 million by the end of it, I believe. We're on our way. There's a lot of critics out there that would happily fund you.
That's interesting for me.
That covers the horse's fee.
Well, they are professional.
Yeah, 11 million's, that's not something to sniff at.
Well, I'm going to ask, what would you like to do? Not necessarily if you've got permission. If you could do any of the Discworld stories, what would you do?
It'd be sorcery. I think sorcery is the time is right for sorcery. I think fantasy is not uncommon anymore. Like when we started this, Lord of the Rings hadn't even begun yet, and that kind of changed everything in what could appear on screen as far as fantasy was concerned. And how old was Lord of the Rings now? Like 15 years, something like that? I know that sounds crazy, but 2001. Okay, well, there you go. And because it's so prevalent, I think now's the time to rip fantasy down, and that sorcery is perfectly positioned to be able to do that. The satirical take on 1001 Arabian Nights and wizardry and magic and barbarians again through Nigel, I think is a perfect time. It's a perfect blockbuster, if you get what I mean. But that would cost $150 million, so that's
a lot of pennies, isn't it, really?
It is, yeah.
I'm going to ask, if somebody ever came along and said they wanted to do The Last Hero, would you come back as Cohen?
Yeah. No one's asked me, but yeah, sure.
Oh, we can have words in the right places. Anybody? Première.
Hi. Don, did you actually get to show your Cohen to Cicero?
No, I didn't. I think you showed the green screen version.
Oh, it was even further than the green screen version, yeah. Like, we've been showing 3 iterations of the film, even the original version of the film is where we started showing iterations, and it was because of his interest that I kept going, no, we can do better, we can keep improving it, because he was paying attention. God bless him. And I wanted to do right by him. So yeah, he definitely saw Don's iteration and adored it. Yeah, I don't know what else can be said. I was very happy with it.
The girl behind the heels. Go on.
Over the 17 years, did you find you were constantly having to try and keep up with the technology for the CGI?
That's a good one for you, Christian.
Yes, definitely. Well, that's why, especially all the trolls you see there, these were all done in the last 5 years, I would say. Like all the real post-production that you see on the screen right now has been done in the last 4 to 5 years. Everything had to be recreated from scratch, because things that we did 15 years ago didn't really hold up. And it took me a long time to learn more about the process too. So I first had to kind of get my street creds in regular television shows. And literally walk the walk and sit in the trenches.
That's the whole thing with Troll Bridge, is for everybody involved. It's been a big learning curve.
Oh,
A
absolutely.
big learning experience.
No learning curve, it's all learning. With the technology thing, I was just thinking about that. When we were shooting, motion capture was not available.
No, that was like a $50,000, $100,000 thing where you would need a special studio and only a few could do it. And about the week that we were done animating, my motion capture suit finally arrived in the mail for $300.
Which was a Kickstarter, yeah?
Yeah, it was a Kickstarter, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So now motion capture is actually a viable option for all of the body motions.
And if we had motion capture, we could have shaved years off post-production.
Although in hindsight, I must say, it does have a certain charm because it becomes the hand animation is done with loving care, so it's more puppeteering in a way, and it brings out a certain character. Like Beryl, for example. Tell them about Beryl, how you discovered her character through animation.
Yeah, I guess Beryl, there wasn't any footage before, like only from the actor, so there weren't any scenes yet done with her, so we could actually start from scratch, I would say.
Yeah.
So we could just try out who is she, what is she doing, what is she enjoying, how is she reacting to Micah, and what is she thinking. And that was lots of fun to do because you're trying out different options. You're talking to Daniel, asking, hey, what do you think? And he's throwing in some ideas, and you're throwing in some ideas. And every animator throws in his own ideas as well. So it's a big collaboration, I would say, how you approach a character.
Wow. I'm terrible. I've seen the version with the people in their green screen suits running around, and I love what's on the screen. It's still my favourite because I love seeing Troy's face and things like that. I'm going to wrap this up now because we are on a time scale, shall we say. Aren't these guys wonderful? News here because that's my job. I write the news. It's lots of things going on. We've just seen Trollbridge. It is an amazing adaptation of one of Terry's, well, my favourite short story in here, Terry's. There's lots of other adaptations going on. We all know that Good Omens premieres on Amazon Prime on Friday. Some of us are going to be lucky enough to be at the world premiere tomorrow.
Oh my god.
I know. It's going to be absolutely awesome. It's not the only thing that's coming, of course. The Watch series, the Watch series. It's going to be all about City Watch. It's being made by BBC. There will be 8 episodes. They are currently working on script 2, I believe. So it's definitely in production. They haven't cast anyone yet, but it's definitely getting there. Simon Allen is doing a wonderful job, of course. He's been tasked with writing all these new stories that Terry authorised. So it's all brand new stories, which is something we all crave. And I'm really looking forward to that. We don't know when it's coming, we just know it is, which is the important bit. The We Free Men movie, there really hasn't been very much about We Free Men for quite some time. It's been going through a lot of rewrites. It is coming though. It's, the fact they are still rewriting it is the most important bit. So that's on its way. Biographies. I'm sure some of you have read in SFX that Rob Wilkins is working on an official biography of Terry Pratchett. He's not the only one. There is an unofficial biography on its way from Mark Burrows, and that will be published by Pen and Sword Books. They actually specialise in military and history books, but it seems that they're branching out into biographies as well. So they're also doing one about Stan Lee. That is meant to be out next year. Mark's been advertising it as the first ever biography of Terry Pratchett. I'm just hoping Rob gets there first. We all crave extra Discworld stuff, and Dirk Maggs is working on some stuff behind the scenes. If you listen to the Unseen Academicals audio drama, which I thought was fabulous, and of course the Good Omens one done for Radio 4 last year, there'll be more coming from Dirk, because he's a massive fan, and he really can't wait to play some more in the Discworld. I think it's the best way to use that. And I'm now going to finish with most things I can say. Events. We are fans. There is a huge amount here in this room that are massive fans of Terry's works. And we go to conventions all over the world. And next year, there'll be a brand new convention on the list. Yeah, we dragged you all to come out here. I'm going to say, with a bit of magic, really, because we're going to drag you all back here next year for the first ever Welsh Discworld convention.
Oh my God.
Because I'm here, that's my job. It's the Llamados Holiday Camp. It'll be quite exclusive. There'll only be places for 150 of you. And you will be sorted into families. So some of you will become members of the Ogg family. Some of you will become members of the Allen Fansons. Some of you will be the Nobbs family. And it will be very much a holiday camp. There will be a glamorous grannies contest. And Granny Weatherwax herself will be judging it, so she can't win. And the Purple Coats will be your entertainment team for the weekend. Now, unlike any other convention, your meals, your evening meals, are included in your ticket price. So you'll be eating all together on a Friday night, you'll be eating all together on a Saturday night, and our costume ball on the Sunday night is included in your ticket, which means everybody gets to go and have fun. Head over to flamadosholidaycamp.com. It is live now. It is on Facebook as Flamados Holiday Camp, and it's on Twitter as Flamados Holiday Camp. Just search for it. It's there. Sign up to our newsletter. We're hoping to get tickets on sale around August time. And it will be based just 3 miles up the road. So, do not come back. Just what?
At your place?
No, not my house. I'm not mad enough to have you lot there. But I am mad enough to run it. So, yes, they all knackered and wore me down. We did do it as an April Fool's joke. We said, Discord monthly are swines. Staten Island, we all said, oh, I know what we can do as an April Fool's joke. Let's say there's going to be a Welsh Discord convention. Yes, and now it happened. It was only meant to be a joke, the things you do when you're drunk. So that's it from us. I would like to say a massive thank you to the Carmarthen Bay Film Festival for having us here. Knew what was coming when you all showed up in costume and got yourself in the sunshine. I would like to say the sunshine, you know, proof it doesn't always rain in Wales. Because it does.
I just wanted to say something. I know some of you have seen various iterations of the film before, and we've always had a kind of silence over that, the making of and whatnot. And it's been screening all through Australia, but for me, this is the real launch of the film. I don't want you to be quiet about this online. Please tell people about the film. Other film festivals are paying attention.
Yes, very much paying attention.
Yeah, and hopefully we can hit more screens. And particular thanks to Carmarthen Bay. Thank you so much for putting on this. This is the launch I always dreamed of. Thank you.
Because Bernard isn't here, and there is a tradition with Discord bands.